Hello students, welcome to your favorite channel English Learning Assam. Today I start question paper solution or very important question answer of English prose for HS Final Examination 2024. মৰমৰ ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰীসকল, আজি মই তোমালোকৰ আগত এটি দীঘল ভিডিঅ' লৈ আহিছোঁ। আজিৰ এই দীঘল ভিডিঅ'ত মই তোমালোকৰ অহা পৰীক্ষাৰ বাবে ইংলিছ প্ৰ'জ ছেকশ্যনৰ পৰা অহাৰ সম্ভাৱনা থকা 20ৰ পৰা 25টা শৰ্ট কুৱেশ্যন আনচাৰ আলোচনা কৰিম। আশা কৰিম এই 20ৰ পৰা 25টা শৰ্ট কুৱেশ্যনে তোমালোকক অহা পৰীক্ষাত সহায় কৰিব। গতিকে তোমালোকে এই শেষ মুহূৰ্তত এই কুৱেশ্যনকেইটা চাই উপকৃত হ'বা বুলি আশা ৰাখি আজিৰ ভিডিঅ' মই আৰম্ভ কৰিলোঁ। ফাৰ্ষ্ট কুৱেশ্যনটো মই লৈছোঁ দ্য লাষ্ট লেচনৰ পৰা। Question 1. Why did little Franz want to spend his day out of doors? লিটিল ফ্ৰান্সে তেওঁ কিয় স্কুলৰ বাহিৰত সময়খিনি কটাব বিচাৰিছিল? আনচাৰ: Franz wanted to spend his day out of doors because he started for school very late and he was not prepared for the test on participle assigned by his teacher. Moreover, the day was very bright and warm. The birds were chirping at the edge of the woods. The Prussian soldiers were drilling in the open field. All this tempted him to spend the day out of the doors. Question 2. What are M. Hamel's view about French language? M. Hamelor French languageৰ প্ৰতি ভাষাৰ প্ৰতি কি অভিমত আছিল, মতামত আছিল? আনচাৰ: According to M. Hamel, French language was the most beautiful, the clearest and the logical language in the world. He told the French people to guard it among them and never forget it because their language was the key of their prison. Okay. Question 3. What was the commotion that Franz anticipated in the classroom? Answer: Franz anticipated the commotion of the opening and closing of desks, lessons repeated loudly in unison, and the teacher's great ruler rapping on the table in the classroom, which could be heard out in the street. 4. Why was the lesson called the last lesson? The lesson was called the last lesson because an order had come from Berlin to teach only German in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine, and the new teacher would come next day. That was certainly the last French lesson taught by M. Hamel, who had been serving for the last 40 years in the same school. Why did M. Hamel not blame Franz alone for his inability to learn? M. Hamel did not blame Franz alone for his inability to learn because everyone like him put off the learning till tomorrow. He blamed the parents who preferred to put their children to work on the farm or at the mills to earn money. He also blamed himself for sending the students to water his flowers and for giving them a holiday when he went to go a fishing. Okay. Now come to chapter 2, Lost Spring, which is written by Anis Jam. Question: Was Shaf happy with his job at the tea stall? Tea stallot চাহৰ দোকানত কাম কৰিতে সুখী হৈছিল নে? Answer: No, Shaf is not happy working at the tea stall. He is paid 800 rupees and all the meals, yet his face has lost carefree look. The steel container seems heavier than the plastic bag, so he is no longer his own master now. Next question: Give a brief description of Shimapuri. Answer: Shimapuri is a settlement of more than 1000 rag pickers. It is a place on the periphery of Delhi. Survival in Shimapuri means rag picking. Garbage to them is gut. The rag pickers live there in the structure of mats. They have roofs of tin and tarpaulin. There is no sewage, drainage, or running water. Question 3. What is the actual name of Sahib? What does it signify? Answer: The actual name of Sahib is Sahibi Alam. It signifies Lord of Universe, but he does not know the significance of his name. Now come to next question. What are the two different worlds in Firoozabad? Very important question. The two different worlds in Firoozabad are: number one of the family caught in a wave of poverty, burdened by the stigma of caste in which they are born. Number two, the other a vicious circle of the shahukars, the middlemen, the policemen, the keepers of law, the bureaucrats, and the politicians. Next, what is the significance of bangles in an Indian society? Answer: In Indian society, the bangle symbolize an Indian woman's shuhak, auspiciousness in marriage. It signifies sanctity in the society. An Indian bride always wears red bangles in her wrist. Indian society shows value and respect to a married woman who wears bangles. Question 7. What is the irony inherent in Sahib's full name? Answer: Sahib's full name is Sahibi Alam, which means Lord of Universe, but Sahib does not know the meaning of his name. Ironically, being Lord of the Universe, he roams the streets with some other rag pickers in Delhi to look for gold in the garbage dumps. Here, the Lord of Universe is a rag picker. Okay? So, my dear students, এইখিনি আছিলে লষ্ট স্প্ৰিং চেপ্টাৰৰ পৰা অহা পৰীক্ষাত অহাৰ সম্ভাৱনা থকা কোৱেশ্চন আনসাৰ. Now come to chapter Indigo, which is written by Louis Fisher. Question: Why was Champaran episode so significant in Gandhi's life? Answer: Champaran episode was so significant in Gandhi's life because it alleviated the distress of the poor peasants of Champaran, challenging the British authorities. It helped the Indians to stand on their own feet. It also showed that Gandhi could not be ordered in his own country. Okay. Next, what was the incident that prompted Gandhi to raise his voice of protest against the British? The distress of the large number of poor peasants of Samparan prompted Gandhi to raise his voice of protest against the British. The British landlords compelled the peasants in the sharecropping arrangement and extorted money from the sharecroppers. Next, why do you think Gandhi considered the Sampras episode to be a turning point in his life? Answer. Gandhi considered the Samparan episode to be a turning point in his life because it elevated the distress of the poor peasants of Samparan challenging the British authorities. It helps the Indians to stand on their own feet. It also showed that Gandhi could not be ordered in his own country. Next, why was Professor Malkini's action of offering shelter to Gandhi extraordinary? Answer. Professor Malkini's action offering shelter to Gandhi was extraordinary because the average Indians in smaller localities were afraid to show sympathy towards advocates of home rule. They had not the courage to say anything against the British authority who ruled India. Now come to next question. Why did Gandhi choose to go Muzaffarpur first before go on to Sampran? Gandhi chose to go to Muzaffarpur first before going to Samparan, which was on the way to Samparan, to obtain more complete information about conditions than Shukla was capable of imparting. Next, why did Gandhi agree to a settlement of 25% refund to the peasants? Answer. Gandhi agreed to a settlement of 25% refund to the farmers because he thought that the amount of refund was less important than the fact that the landlords had been obliged to surrender part of the money and with it part of their prestige. Okay. Now come to chapter Going Places, which is written by A.R. Burton. Question 1. What kind of person is Geoff? Answer. Geoff is an apprentice mechanic who speaks little. He is quite practical and realistic. He is jealous of his silence, but she finds a sort of fascination for him. He is a patient listener of Sophie. Okay. Next, why did Jansi feel sad hearing about Sophie's dream? Answer. Jesse did not approve of this dream because she was more practical and realistic. She knew that they both come from a lawyer economic background and hence it was likely that they would end up working at a biscuit factory. Next, what theme does the story Going Places explore? In the story, Going Places AR Burton explores the theme of adolescence and fantasizing and hero worship. This story consists in the imagination story and heroism of adolescence. Next, what job is Geoff engaged in? Does he entertain wild and impractical dreams like his sister? Answer: Jeff is engaged as an apprentice mechanic. No, he does not entertain wild and impractical dreams like his sister. He is realistic and sensible. What other dream Sophie had beside having a boutique? Beside having a boutique, Sophie had some other dreams. She wanted to be a manager or an actress or a fashion designer like Mary Quant. Next, what incongruous about the delicate bow which fastened the apron strings of Sophie's mother? Answer: Sophie's mother was wearing an apron and its strings were fastened with a delicate bow which displayed the status of their family and the busy mother in managing the household. This also explains the character of Sophie, why she likes to lead a sophisticated life. Next, why did Sophie want Jessie to know about her story with Danny Casey? Answer: Sophie did not want Jessie to know about her story with Danny Casey because she thought that Jessie was nosy and gawky. It wasn't a Jessie kind of thing at all. She would spread the news in the whole neighborhood. Question 10. Why was Sophie fascinated by Danny Casey? Was it a one-sided affair? Sophie was fascinated by Danny Casey because he was a young, handsome Irish football player. Yes, it was a one-sided affair. What kind of person is Sophie's father? Sophie's father is an archetype of the lower middle class father who has worked hard in uncompromising conditions in order to earn livelihood for his family. After his day's work, he watched the television instead of spending time with his family or sharing family responsibility with his wife. Write in brief the scene observed by the author from the veranda of his bungalow on the bank of the Brahmaputra. মৰমৰ ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰীসকল, এতিয়া মই তোমালোকৰ আগত একেবাৰে লাষ্ট চেপ্টাৰ মেমোৰ্ছ অফ এ ছোটা চাইফ হুইচ ইজ ৰিটেন বাই জন ৰণ্ট্ৰিৰ পৰা কুৱেশ্যন আনচাৰখিনি আলোচনা কৰিম। আনচাৰ: The author had a splendid view of the river and its shipping and the distant Himalayas from the veranda of his bungalow on the bank of the Brahmaputra. In the foreground was Peacock Island, with the dome of a Hindu temple which is now known as Omananda, just visible through the trees. Give a brief description of the Peacock Island. Very, very important question for your upcoming examination. The Peacock Island, located close to the forest officers' bungalow on the land of the Brahmaputra in Guwahati. There was Hindu temple on it. The author never discovered peacock but only monkeys on the island. It refers to a present-day Umananda in Guwahati. What is a marboat and how it is operated? Crossing are made in a marboat, which is a ferry consistent of a flank platform covering two open boats placed alongside on another. A marboat is operated either by paddling across the river or by connecting by a running cable to another side across the river, which people from one side to other by the force of the current. What unusual visitor did Rontry have in his bungalow on night? Answer. John Rontry mentioned that the unusual visitor was a tiger which was perhaps washed up by a flood. He also informed that he got the pack marks of the large cat which were seen in their compound. Next, what does Rontry say about the river banks in Manas Sanctuary? Rontry says that there were a few rhinos on the river banks in Manas Sanctuary bordering the Himalayan state of Bhutan. The rivers were full of masir and their banks a favorite site for the governor's camps. Rontry was assigned to build the camps for which he got thanks from the great man. What does Rontry state about the large bill close to the bungalow at Rajapara? Rontry states that there was a large bill close to the bungalow at Rajapara where an earthquake had once lowered the surface and the land became inundated with water. It was an eerie spot where tree skeleton still rise out of the water, a reminder that it had once become dry land. So, my dear students, এইখিনি আছিলে আজিৰ এই ভিডিঅ'ৰ ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট কুৱেশ্যন আনচাৰ। আশা কৰিম এই ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট আনচাৰখিনিয়ে তোমালোকক অহা পৰীক্ষাত সহায় কৰিব। থেংক ইউ ফৰ ৱাচিং।